And we are live. Wits and Wagers, Thursday, November 9th. The panel's down, but we're not out. We come fighting. We come back for more. I'll get to a couple people in a minute that's not with us. First, I want to go to Joey Clams, the one that we're not out, Joe. Me and you tonight. Me and you. How you doing, Joe?
Your mother's up at the hospital with your father. Looks like he's going to pull through, thank God. That's Pete Clemenza from The Godfather telling Sonny that Don Corleone was going to pull through. That's for Sis. Pull through, baby. Let's go, big guy. Get better. And roll.
That's right. That's right. I was just going to say, Sis is down. He's not out. He had a little surgery. He told me, tell everybody he's doing fine. He's actually coming home sometime later tonight. And he'll be back in full force next week. Another one of our good friends and co-hosts, Carson Claus, Carson Shear. He's feeling a little under the weather, barely has a voice, so he has the night off. And Kurt's having one of his many vacations that he has every year. He's got the teachers' convention, him and Jen. They're enjoying themselves in Atlantic City, so at least they're having a good time. But we're here to have a good time, too. Me and Joey are going to give you our best bets and picks for the week, college and NFL, a lot to talk about. And we're going to get the ball rolling. But before we do that, Joe, I think, since it's just me and you, we got a couple minutes. We can hit a couple of the big topics in sports. And one of them I want to bring up, Joe, because it has to do with betting. And we were just talking off the air for a few minutes. Michigan Wolverines, ranked number 3. This is their first big test. But the big news is this sign stealing. And Jim Harbaugh looks like he's caught, and he's going to be the one that takes the fall for this. And I want to know what's about the sign stealing, and what should the NCAA, and what should bettors, more importantly, because we're Wits and Wagers, what should bettors do with Michigan the rest of this year?
Okay, before I get to that, I just want to let everybody know Kurt is walking around with a bucket full of coins that he has for 20 years ago. He doesn't realize they don't take the coins no more in the slots. So he's got a roll of quarters. So I just want to get that out there.
And real quick, Joe, Doggy Dog World from YouTube, hello. And he says they are haters against Michigan. And Kurt's saying there they are. Live from Angelo's in Atlantic City, Clams. He's live from Angelo's.
Hey, Doggy Dog, how you doing? Keep them coming. Keep the comments coming. About Michigan, you know what? Harbaugh, he doesn't care what happens. He's set up to go right to the Raiders or the Chicago Bears. He's coming back to the NFL. He beat Ohio State twice. He didn't get a national championship, but really only a handful of schools get him over the years anyway. But the signs, I don't think the Big Ten is going to suspend him. They want to have a team being represented. Would they get something happen to them next year? Maybe. But if they do get suspended, and anybody who's got future tickets on Michigan, like to win the conference, over wins, national championship, making the Final Four to the playoffs, DraftKings is going to refund your money if there is a problem. So check with your local books or whoever you're doing your business with. Make sure that you find out, because DraftKings will give. They're going to give out a refund. They're going to make it as a push, a no bet.
And here's Doggy Dog saying Michigan is a top team and they seem to be against them. And he's also saying Clams has the Mean Streets shirt on. Classic Clams. I see you. He's the smiley face. Kurt's saying, let's go Bears tonight. One question for you about this whole thing, Joe, and then we can get into our college games. J.J. McCarthy, would you feel confident in putting a bet on him for Heisman with this stuff going on, or you think the voters are going to be against him going forward now? Because he was my favorite for Heisman until this whole thing came up just this past week.
Well, here's the thing anyway, because I hear this all day. Look at this. They have, what games has he won? That he won the game for his team. That's where's his Heisman moment? He doesn't have one. To be honest, I wouldn't put any money on him for two things. I don't think they got a cupcake schedule this is almost Thanksgiving. This is the first time they're playing a meaningful game. And plus, with the accusations going on, I would stay away from it. It's a no play for me on anything with Michigan. I bet this week on the games, but I wouldn't bet anything for the future right now on Michigan. I'd hold off, especially on the quarterback.
Absolutely, Joe. So why don't we get into? You want to talk about the Giants for a minute, Joe? And I just got to step away for 1 second. So give the audience 2 minutes on the Giants on what your thoughts are about them this year and what you should do going forward. You wanted to talk about them for a minute or two. So I'll be on the sidelines for 1 minute.
It's a shame that what's going on with this organization. They haven't been able to hit a draft pick. They haven't been able to hit on the quarterback. Besides when they had Eli, when you listen, Barkley's a great player, but it wasn't a fit for the Giants at number 2. When you're rebuilding a team, you don't draft a wide receiver. You don't draft a running back. It starts with up front, the offensive line, and you got to get the quarterback, and you got to get a defensive line. It all starts, you build your foundation. But here's the thing. You gave this guy $40 million a year. $40 million. What were you thinking doing that? He didn't prove that he was a $40 million quarterback. I mean, Kurt's right, about that. So what are you going to do now going forward? You're going to have probably the top 5 pick, maybe 1, 2, 3. You're going to be right up there. You got to get a quarterback. This is the draft for the quarterback. There's 5 good quarterbacks right there. There's going to be 5 quarterbacks going in the first round. You have to hit on the quarterback. You got to get the best talented quarterback out there. You have to. You got to save this franchise. You're the New York Giants. You're the grandfathers of the NFL. You have to address it. And where did you think that DeVito was going to? Who's seen this guy and says in spring training, "Oh, that's my guy for my third string backup"? He can't play. He can't throw the ball. They don't let him do anything. What are you doing? Well,
I agree, Joe. I totally 100%. I mean, it just shows to me that they're tanking. I don't believe in that word, and I don't want to tank, even though we're going nowhere. I still want to see us compete for the next 5 games, and then worry about tanking when it's week 16 or 17.
Well, they have no other choice but to play him right now. But here's how you tank without saying you're tanking. You put a bad quarterback in. That's how you do it. It's case closed. You put a bad quarterback in, you're tanking.
I agree.
I
can't do it. Doggy saying I think Nick should be the favorite, especially when they come back and win the Pac-12 championship. We're going to get into our bets now. Want to wrap up Giants? I think they got to go quarterback, Joe. I really do. They got no choice, like you said. You don't know Daniel Jones's injury now, ACL. He's not going to come back in full strength till like this year's Kyler Murray. He's coming back this week, and you're going to tank next season as well because this guy can't stay healthy because of our other offensive line. So you got to move on. You got to try quarterback so you can have a plan 1A going forward. Jody's saying, "Welcome to Caleb Williams land." I hope I'm wrong about the guy, but I'm going to maybe start getting on that bandwagon because he may be coming to the Giants, Joe.
Look what he does when he's at USC. He keeps them in the game. He keeps them in the game. How many times can you come out and put up 45 points a game?
Oh yeah, exactly.
You're playing the top-notch football, big-time football there. He's got to come out every time and be perfect. It's a lot. You know what? But he's talented. Hey, if he's there for the Giants, you better take him.
Beverly Hills Cops own Eddie Murphy. My biggest fear is we need to lose last game of year to Eagles. It's sitting at 15-1, and I can see Eagles losing on purpose so we don't get our future quarterback. If they clinch everything, they may rest everybody like the Giants did last year, and we see how that worked out, when they clinched. So it might come back to haunt them. We'll see. Want to get into some picks, Joe?
Let's go.
You ready to get into some picks? We got some action tonight. We always get our Thursday night college game in. ACC action, Joe. Jenny Hoops is own Virginia Cavaliers playing very well, Joe, lately. 2 weeks ago, beat North Carolina, been competitive. Now they're traveling to one of my surprises this year, the Louisville Cardinals. And they're close to cracking the top 10. They're ranked 11 right now. I got Louisville laying 20.5 in this one, Joe. Which way?
I'm gonna lay it. This is a bedlam game there for Louisville tonight. This coach has got them focused. He sees there's a road to where he wants to go. Give me the Louisville Cardinals later 20.5 tonight. I really like this game tonight.
You know, Joe, I'm going to go the other way, but I'm not putting more than pepperoni topping money on this game. I just don't have much confidence in this game. It can go either way. But Virginia's been playing well, and they're playing hard for the coach. They're playing hard. We all know what happened, tragedy last year. I could see this being a late backdoor cover right around that 20 mark. I think the odds makers got this right. It may be 20, it may be 21. Maybe buy a point, get it to 21.5, half a point if you get it at 21, and go Virginia. But Kurt is also agreeing with you. I got some of his picks. He's going Louisville, Joe. So 2 versus 1 there. You might want to think about Louisville more than Virginia. I kind of think it's going to be right around that number. Jody's saying Axel Foley in the house, replying to Eddie Murphy there. This is the other Murphy, by the way, for those who don't know. But little inside joke there with our good friend Eddie Murphy. Thanks for joining, and fellow Giant fan. All right, Joe, Saturday's action. First one I got on the list here is Alabama Crimson Tide, still in the hunt for a playoff, heading to their SEC counterparts, Kentucky Wildcats. I got Alabama on the road laying 11, Joe, in this one.
Since the loss to Texas, Alabama's got their act together, and they've been playing solid football. Quarterback's getting a little better. You know what? Kentucky's like a bully team. They'll beat up on somebody at home. That's worse than them. You know, they beat up on. They're a bully team. They're against a good team. They don't show up. Give me Alabama Crimson Tide, Lady 11 here with this game.
Kurt's going Bama close around that 11 mark. I think this is a 14-point game, Alabama. They showed me something last week. They're clicking when it matters now. Seems like you get this formula every year. Alabama loses a game early in the season, and then they're fighting and sneaking into the playoffs. And that formula has been working for a couple of years, and it may just work again this year. So, again, you called Kentucky's, they beat up on the weaker teams. Bama's coming to town. I could see this being a 14 to 17-point victory by Alabama. So I'm with you, Joe. I'm going to jump on Alabama in this one. Our next game on the list. Surprising 4 games in a row as underdogs, Joe. Arizona Wildcats. They beat UCLA last week, USC a couple weeks ago, Oregon State, and I believe it might have been Utah, their 4 wins. Now they're traveling to Colorado, Joe. Now it's a different game. Now they're playing you just called Kentucky the bullies. Now Arizona's trying to play the bully here, laying 10.5, Joe. Is that too much? Or are you taking the Wildcats in this one?
Well, you know what? The Desert Cats are on the roll, and that coach is doing some job. I don't know why Colorado changed their offensive coordinator, but the way that the coaches fell apart on that coaching staff of the Buffs with Dion, what he did at the end of the first half last week, he could have sat on the ball, ran the clock out. You're going to halftime down 7-3. Instead, you throw 3 incomplete passes. You give the other team the ball back. They come down and score a touchdown at the end, at the gun. So give me the Desert Cats here. I think Colorado checked out. They don't got nothing to play for no more. Desert Cats, Arizona lay it on the road.
Yeah, Doggy Dog saying that University of Arizona has a very good defense and surprising offense with Gabriel. Arizona is hot, and I'm going to lay this with you, Joe. 2 teams going in opposite direction. Nailed it. Pat Shermer's the coordinator there now. I don't know what the hell that was all about. But, Colorado, good story early in the season, but now they're starting to fatigue and they're starting to show, why they weren't predicted to, win maybe 3 or 4 games this year. So I'm going to take the Arizona Wildcats big in this one and lay in the 10.5. Kurt's taking Colorado in the points. So 2-1 there. Our next game, Joe, we have Pac-12 action again. We have University of Utah and, their quarterback, Dalton Reisner, been out all year. And they're heading to my Heisman Trophy candidate favorite, Michael Penix. They got a big win last week, Washington, get back on track. And, they've been playing a lot of close. Could have gone either way. Back on track last week. I got Washington. Current odds laying 8.5 in this one, Joe. Where are you headed in this one?
You know what? I think this is going to be a tight game. Utah's a physical team. Washington was playing a finesse defense last week. I think the Utes come in there and they, they hold their ground, maybe even sneak out a win. But give me Utah plus the 8.5 with this. I think they keep it close. They keep it physical. Great coach. And I like the Utes in this spot taking the 8.5 points.
Yeah, I'm with you, Joe. Again, I'm going to take the point here, but I think Washington pulls off the win, stay undefeated, and in the playoff hunt. I think Penix makes a couple more plays than the Utah quarterback. I'm going to take, Washington in like a real high-scoring game, 35-27 type game, and the hook is going to be the difference here. So I'm going to take Utah getting 8.5 and maybe even try and bump that up to 9.5 if I can find it at those odds. Doggy Dog saying back to Colorado, Sanders is still doing a great job, but they now have put us in a position for recruiting. That's about it for this year. He's agreeing with you there I believe on this game, and he's saying Utah defense is better than USC. Absolutely. Agree with that 100%. USC, I think 8th graders can play better defense than USC.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
Our man, Doggy Dog. Let's go.
He's got some stories he could tell.
Nice.
Doggy Dog, great gambling stories. Great gambling stories.
Nice. Look forward to those. Game number 5 on our list, Joe. I got some ACC action for us. I got my Miami Hurricanes traveling to Florida State, rival, fighting for a playoff berth. I got Florida State laying 14, Joe. Does Miami have a shot in this one to knock off Florida State out of the playoff hunt?
You know what? Let me tell everybody out there, maybe they're not old enough to know, guys like Scoops, who just started watching football 3 days ago. The U was back in the day. It was an institution. Nobody, even to today, there's no more pro football players came out of a program than Miami University. And to see what's going on with all that talent, to see what's going on with this coach, what he did to this to this university of Miami is a shame. They got a lot of talent on here, and they're going to be playing against a lot of kids that they grew up with and played with since they were kids. They're not going to go out there with their tail between their legs. Give me the Hurricanes and look out for the upset here. Canes.
That's what I'd like to hear, Joe. Kurt's pick on Washington, Utah, by the way, he's saying lay the points with Washington. Kurt's taking the points here, but he says FSU wins. Miami's this is their rivalry. This is a way to get their ugly season, back on track. Go into the Seminole land and take care of business, pull off a late game by a field goal and break the hearts of those Seminole fans. Let's go U. I'm taking the U all day with the 14, but let's go U with the upset. Doggy Dog saying these were the best matchups years ago, along with the Gators. It was dominating with Miami, Florida, and Florida State. Great games years ago. Jody saying, take that, Scoops, about your 3 days ago. And Doggy Dog saying, good to see these teams rival up again. Absolutely. Miami's heading in the right direction. I just don't know if this is the coach. He knows how to mess things up, right, Joe?
Absolutely. Look what he did at Oregon.
Yep. And well, take a knee twice. You should learn from your mistake the first time. So anyway, but I'm looking forward to that game, and I would love nothing more than to see Florida State get knocked out of the playoffs. Doggy Dogs agreeing with us there on that game. Here's an interesting one, Joe. I put Big 12 action on here because I like this game personally. Oklahoma State, I was just talking before about Arizona. Well, how about Oklahoma State with all the upsets they've put up lately as underdogs? You bet these team on the money line and Arizona on the money line for a few weeks. You are looking pretty. Now they're traveling to Central Florida, and they're a slight 2.5-point favorite, Joe. Gus Malzahn doing a decent job over there. They almost beat Oklahoma a couple of weeks ago. Slight 2.5-point favorite, Joe. Is Oklahoma State not getting the respect, or is this line and are you going UCF?
Oh, I'm going UCF here. Now Oklahoma's, they're reading the paper clips, they got there now. They were the underdog. David beat the Goliaths. Now they're going on the road as a favorite. This is a play for me. This is the spot I like. Give me the home dog with the hot team coming in.
Yeah. Kurt's going. Malzahn gets it done, upset, and I'm with that too. And I've been on Oklahoma State as underdogs. I picked them against Oklahoma, so my fraud slayers hit. But this is different, like you said. And anybody out there who wants to put some pizza money on, Joey, myself, and Kurt, three of us all agree on this one. Upset special. Get UCF now because this line might even drop a little bit, in my opinion, because the smart bettors are going to come after UCF, I believe. So get that 2.5 now, everybody.
I'm going to put the
That's my opinion, right?
Yeah, money line there. Yeah, give me it with Alich.
Exactly.
All you lot of guns out there.
All right, Joe. Next one, I'm going to go SEC action. Couple teams, playing very well. Tennessee Volunteers towards upper echelon in their division, and the Missouri Tigers surprising a lot of people this year. They lost last week to Georgia, but Georgia's Georgia. I got Tennessee in this one, Joe, laying 1.5.
Hello?
Can you hear me, Joe? Tennessee 1.5. Who do you like here? I think I lost Joey for a moment there. Hopefully he can come back on. You with me, Joe? I'll give you one more chance. All right, everybody. So here he comes. He's back, I believe.
All right, that was on you, right?
Yeah, Joe. We're back. Tennessee, Missouri. I was about to get the pick in. Tennessee laying 1.5.
Yeah, I like the Vols here. They got 3 running backs. They're going to control the line of scrimmage, run the ball. They're going to win this game. They're going to keep that Missouri offense on the sidelines, and they're going to get the lead early. And Missouri's going to have to play from behind, but Tennessee's going to pull away. Give me the Vols in this one.
Kurt's taking Missouri. He doesn't trust Tennessee on the road. I do trust them in this spot. I think he's a nice story, but I think Missouri has a letdown after getting pretty much beat up by Georgia last week. I think Tennessee comes to town and takes care of business here. I say by like 3 to 6 points. Tennessee victory on the road. Speaking of the SEC, Joe, I got a big one here. We got Ole Miss, 1-loss Ole Miss, led by Lane Kiffin. Jackson Dart, their quarterback, having a nice sleeper type of year. And on to the Georgia Bulldogs. Georgia in this one is laying 11, Joe. Is Georgia going to keep that win streak alive? Is Ole Miss going to play tight? Which way are you heading here?
Georgia's going to win the game, but I'm going to take Ole Miss with the points. I think they keep this game close. It's within 17, a touch, 214 like late, and you get the late. You'll get a late backdoor cover here, 4 on 8 or 9. Give me the Rebels.
Kurt's taking Georgia, and I'm with you again. I think Ole Miss keeps it close around that 14 to 17 mark. They get a touchdown late, and it's going to be anywhere from like a 7 to 10-point victory for Georgia. Ole Miss is going to play them real tight in the first half. I like Ole Miss in the first half in this game. I think it's going to be a close game in the first half. That's another betting trend you can take. That's one of my plays is Ole Miss in the first half.
I think you could get
what
6.5.
Joe?
I think you can get 6.5 with that first half line.
Yeah, I'm all on it. I love it. But, I'm going to take them into points for the game. I think Georgia pulls it off and remains undefeated. In my opinion, the number one team. A couple more college we got, Joe. I had this one for Carson. We could do this one quick. Carson's not with us. He's not feeling well. Lost his voice. His Michigan State Spartans coming off a win, Joe, off Nebraska. Now they got to go. What? How did they get rewarded with a win? Go to the number one team, Ohio State Buckeyes. Playing 31, Joe, in this one. What do you do here? We lost Joey again. He's having in. Here he comes. He's back.
Oh,
there you are, Joe. Michigan, Ohio State.
You know what? What's the points here? 31?
Yeah.
I was wrong last week with the Spartans. They got me. They got me good last week. I had Nebraska. Give me Sparty here plus 31. You know what? It looks like they're gonna go down with a swinging. You know what? I like the way they played last week. So I'll go with Michigan State here.
Yeah, you know what? For Carson, I'm going to take Michigan State too. I think Ohio State. Rutgers was with them for a little while, Joe, last week. I could see Michigan State getting a couple stops in this game, and I could see them, losing by 3 touchdowns, maybe even 4 touchdowns, and you still get the cover. 28, you're still getting the cover. So if I can't, 38-14 type of game, that's what I'm looking at here. I'll take Sparty. Let's go.
And
Kurt's comment on this one. Tons of points. Kurt's taking Ohio State. Tons of points, but still weighing it. Michigan State basketball is even in trouble, he said. Throwing a jab at Carson when he's down and out.
State, people knocking them a little bit. They did win on the road and it covered last week. And, hey, they listen, Ohio State's a good football team.
They are.
Yeah.
They are.
Yeah, let's.
Yep. Doggy Dog saying you better eat before the game, Joe. You won't have an appetite.
He knows what it is. His fingernails appetizers.
I got Dean Smith versus Coach K here. No, it's football, guys. Saturday action. Duke Blue Devils head into our heels, Joe. Duke is a 14.5-point underdog here. Carolina laying 14.5 off of another loss last week, Joe. Which way are you headed?
Wow, I mean, I really don't like both of these teams right now, but I'll take just for the show. I'll lean towards taking the points with Duke.
I agree 100%. Not high on this game, but does North Carolina deserve to be 14.5-point favorite the way they've been playing, losing to Virginia? I take the points here if you need a play. I'm not confident in it, but I'll take Duke myself. All right, Joe, here's a big one for us. Pac-12 action. Caleb Williams and the USC Trojans traveling to front runner now in the Heisman betting, Bo Nix and the Oregon Ducks. Joey, your Oregon Ducks that you like to play each week, mostly every week, is laying 15.5 in this one, Joe. Which way are you headed?
Oh, I'm going with the Ducks. They're a freight train right now. And you know what? USC, after last week, they checked out. This kid's got to get ready to go, be a professional and make his millions of dollars. That's what he's supposed to do. Go get your money, son. And you know what? The Ducks, everybody's saying they're the number one team in the country. They're the best team in the country without, but they do got that loss. Remember that. So they're not in the top 4 right now. They have to win outright, and they have to. You know what? And there's things that can happen. What happens? Alabama gets in, and then Texas going to say, "Hey, we beat Alabama. We got one loss like Oregon does." So you know what they got to do? They got to roll, and they're going to roll through this team. They're going to put about a 50 burger up on them. They're going to win by 30. Give me the Ducks here.
Mark Calderio saying, "Hey guys, big game for Michigan. Shut up the haters." Mark, that's our feature game coming right up in about 2 minutes. Kurt's saying they may score 6 on this USC defense. I'm with you, Joe. Once again, agreeing on a lot this week. Sure, USC is going to put up 28-35, I believe, in this game. But the difference is the Ducks are going to make a couple stops. And they're going to make enough stops to where they score, like Kurt said, 60. I'm thinking high 40s. I'm thinking 49-28 type of game. And you ain't going to stop this Oregon offense.
What do you see
I'm going. What was that, Joe?
What do you see on the total?
I don't have it in front of me. I could pull it up. I think it was in the 70s, I believe.
In front of him. Doggy Dog has it right in front of him.
Yeah. Ducks are on a mission after that Washington loss from Doggy Dog. I'll get that updated total in a second. I got one more late night action. Kurt saying Oregon big, USC is a joke. Frauds. I believe it. Here's a late night cap game I got for us, Joe. Out in the Mountain West, the Fresno State Bulldogs traveling to the San Jose Spartans. I got San Jose State laying 1 in this one, Joe. Figure those late night bettors who are up late, can't sleep, they want to get something. Here's a 10:30 start for everybody. Where are you headed, Joe?
You know what? That's how it always is when Hawaii plays. Hawaii comes on at midnight. You're up at 3 a.m, going nuts. And hey, listen, Fresno State, they won the last couple of games, but they've been getting out yarded and out on the ground. And give me, you know what? I'm on this game. This is one of my plays here. San Jose State. Give me the Spartans here. Sparty at home.
Yep. Kurt's going Fresno. Better team need to win. I'm with Kurt on this one. I like Fresno State. I like the season they're having. I think they're a pretty good team, and going to be in a decent bowl game come bowl season. Doggy Dog's giving us an update. 74.5. If you like the over, Doggy Dog, if you could tell us what sports book you're on. I'm on DraftKings, 75.5 on DraftKings, Joe. So that's a point difference, which that could be the difference in hitting it or not. So if you like the under, come to DraftKings. If you like the over, wherever Doggy Dog is at. Kurt saying graphics look good. Riley is a fraud. Yes, Kurt, thank you for the graphics. Gave you a shout out in the beginning of the show. Got so the
team total. Here's how you do the team total. So say the total 75. You split that in half. So what is that? 30,
37, 38,
37 and a
37
half,
or 38. Yeah.
So it's just say, all right, make it 38. So that's the middle. So now you take the spread and you split that in half. So say it's 15, say it's 16. So you make it 8. 8 goes up. So from 38 plus 8 goes up for Oregon. That'll be their team total. So their team total will be like 46. Now the 8 will come down from USC, and the team total will be 30. That's how you figure. That's how you do it.
Okay, so you got in a 46-30 type of game right there around the width, but you have it at the lines, but it looks like it slightly goes over and Oregon covers.
I think Oregon's defense holds them under their team total too.
Like it. All right, Joe, I'm ready for our feature game. Pinnacle Sports, Doggy Dog. Thank you. Pinnacle's got it at 74.5, which is a point difference. So that's a big difference. So again, if you like the over, up on Pinnacle Sports.
Pinnacle Sports is the sharpest line around. Just to let everybody know. Sharpest line around.
Thank you for that. Now our feature college game before we get into NFL, Joe. And we talked about it at the beginning of the show. Michigan in the news. Mark Calderio's Michigan Wolverines. Not arguably, this is their biggest test to the year. Traveling to Penn State, you know that crowd's going to be fired up. The only thing I wish it was a later night game. This is going to be a noon start. I got Michigan, Joe, laying 4.5 at Penn State.
Wow. You know what? Michigan's reputation, I mean, is, it's Michigan. The coach, they're big. They got a big time quarterback, but they haven't played. They haven't really been, played anybody, but they're still a great team. And Penn State is at home. Their defense is going to show up. But, just it bothers me is the coach on the other side. It's Penn State's coach. He'll find a way to blow the game. But you know what? He might blow a game and they could land on 3 or 4. I think Michigan wins, but I'm going to take Penn State plus the 4.5 here with the points at home in a close game, in a field goal game.
It's a tough line. This is a tough line. I mean, you nailed it with the coach. I mean, they didn't show up against Ohio State. We all, saw what happened there. And I could kind of see the same thing happening here, but I think the home crowd will get them some scores. I think the team will be close. I'm going to still go Michigan in this one. They're going to answer critics and all this sign stealing and stuff like that. So I'm going to take Michigan by 6 in this one, maybe 7. I'm going to take Michigan in like a low 20s, high 20, low to mid 20s to 17 type game. And Kurt's also taking Michigan. He says they're going to win the whole damn thing. Mark probably likes that. Just like last year, Mark's saying Penn State defense was top 5, and look what happened. Doggy Dog saying right. Michigan by 10.
He's right. Hey, listen, you know what? I could see it. I don't know. But here's the thing about what's going on with Michigan. You know what? Everybody does it. They just got caught. Everybody's doing something. Believe me. You know what? Just play the game. Listen, it's what counts is on the field. That's all. Play the game on the field. Same. Yankee fans, I'm a Yankee fan. Yankee fans crying, calling the Astros cheaters. You know what? Get the ball by him. He's still got, it's hand-eye coordination too.
Yep. All right, Joe, we're going to move to the NFL. We got about 15 minutes left. I think it's enough time to get these NFL games in that we have on the list for you tonight. Is a barn burner, but it has the 1-7 Carolina Panthers traveling to the 2-7 Chicago Bears. The Bears are laying 3.5 primetime game, Joe, in Chicago. Where are you headed in this one? Bryce Young against the Division II quarterback. I can't even pronounce his name. Who are you heading with? Which way are you heading here? And give us a play if you can.
Just call him the Good Shepherd. That's where he came from. Just call him Good Shepherd. That's how I when they say his name, I don't understand what they're saying. Because, you know what? I like the Bears here in this spot. The offensive line for Carolina is banged up. The weakness for the Bears is their secondary. You can throw on them, but I think Carolina's offensive line is so beat up that, and with this quarterback, they're not going to be in sync. And the Bears got the number 2 and the number 3 pick right now. They got Carolina's pick next year. You know that. So they got the 2 and the 3 pick right now, the Bears. And I'm going to go with Chicago. I lay 3. I wouldn't lay the hook. I lay 3. If I had with the hook, I would take the Panthers. But I took Chicago. I had 3 minus 120.
Kurt's taking the Panthers with the points, but the Bears win. I got it on DraftKings at 10.5, so I took the Panthers with the hook. And, maybe pulling off the possible upset here. I'm looking at it in this direction. Primetime game for the number 1 draft pick in the NFL. He needs to prove his critics wrong. He's been struggling. C.J. Stroud's been excelling, and Bryce Young's been struggling in his first year. I think this is the perfect game for him to show he belongs in the NFL and, to get a win on Thursday night, prime versus the Bears. 3.5. I like the 3.5 in this one. Doggy Dog's asking what happened to the Panthers running game. They're all garbage. Doggy Dog saying Pinnacle has 3 on this game. And there he is, Joe. Eddie Siciliano saying evening men.
There he is, the big guy. Light up that cigar
Big.
and drink that like a gentleman. Doggy Dog, what's the juice was Pinnacle using on the 3 with the Bears? What's the juice on the 3? Always make sure you tell the juice so we know which way where they're leaning.
And Doggy, money on the favorite, though. There's your answer.
I like the number. Was it 115? Is it 120?
Gotcha. All right, let's move on to Sunday's action. Got some good games Sunday, in my opinion. AFC North action. Cleveland Browns and their phenomenal defense that they're, this year. Traveling to MVP candidate Lamar Jackson, who at home have been destroying teams lately, in my opinion, Joe. Lions 38-6. And, last week they crushed the Seahawks. Now they get the Browns at home, 3 games in a row at home. And they're laying 6.5 in this one, Joe. Where you, Doggy Dog, 1.847, Joe.
1.8 point. That's almost it's they when they want that's like 8. That's 18 cents. So it's 118. You're laying 118 over there to pick up 100, laying the 3 with Chicago. Okay. Yeah, in this game right here, I like the Ravens in this game. They're I put a bet this week on I put a pizza money bet $10 Ravens to win the Super Bowl and Oregon to win the national championship. $10 gets me back what do you call it, 1,100 and like $15. But I like the Ravens in this spot. Deshaun Watson is you know what? I don't think he's right yet. It's a bad spot for him. It's a bad spot for the Browns. Give me the Ravens to win by a touchdown. I like this game a lot.
100% agree with you, Joe. I think the Ravens are a different animal at home. They're showing, true home field advantage by beating up on playoff teams at home. I think this continues. I think even more than 7. I'm thinking 10 to 13 range for the Ravens. So 6.5, I'm all over it. And Kurt's with us. He's going with the Ravens as well. Our next Sunday matchup, we're going to move to the NFC, and this NFC-AFC matchup here, and this good one in my opinion. San Francisco 49ers, after trading at the trade deadline, picking up Chase Young, been struggling a little bit. Traveling to one of the top AFC teams in not only in the AFC, top teams in the NFL with the 6-2 record. The Jacksonville Jaguars and San Fran's laying 3 in this one, Joe. Are you surprised by the line? And which way are you heading in this?
I think the line is right. This opened up 2. This is where it should be. It should be at 3. This game, the 49ers, they had the week off. Their schedule did them no help. Those last 3 games, they were the worst team with rest against the teams they were playing. They played 2 teams off a bye, team coming off a Thursday night, and after them coming off a Monday night. They're healthy. Trent Williams is back. Everybody's back for the 49ers. And Jacksonville, to me, is a poor man's Miami. Like they, against a good team, they're going to struggle. They'll struggle against a good team. I see 49ers getting back on track. And with their defense, they added Young. They get more of a pass rush now. I see 49ers winning this game by a touchdown.
Kurt's taking the Jaguars with their generational quarterback. I get all your points on that defense, Joe, but I'm concerned about one guy, and I'm not going to lie. I'm concerned about Purdy. He has not been playing well these last couple of weeks. This is a statement game for the Jaguars. To be getting 3 at home, maybe I bump it up a half. I'm not going to put more than, little extra cheese money on it. But I like the Jaguars here getting the 3, but I like it more. I'm more comfortable with the 3.5 because I can see it being right at that 3 number. And with the Jaguars having a chance to win late, Travis Etienne had offensive player of the year type year as well. I could see the Jaguars at home, the crowd behind them. I could see the Jaguars keeping this game close, and either way, but I'll take the points with the home dog in this one.
Yeah, well, think about Purdy. That game on the road in Cleveland in that bad weather, he brought the team, got the ball down there good enough in field goal range to win the game. The guy, he hit it off the post, and the defense didn't help them out in Minnesota with that bad call, and Cincinnati they're coming off the Cincinnati game. Cincinnati was rested, coming off a rest, and they pickpocketed them. That was the spot
Fair
that
points.
in the thing. I think Purdy's all right. As soon as he throws an interception, he becomes a 7th-round pick again. That's what everybody. But then somebody, anybody like Allen could lead the league in interceptions for the last 3 years. Nobody says nothing.
True. Good points. Here's an interesting one, Joe. 2 dome teams facing each other. New Orleans Saints, looks like they're going to be by default, the front runners to win the AFC South. And the Vikings, who surprisingly, after picking up Josh Dobbs after just a couple of days being with that team, pulled off an upset victory at home versus the Falcons. We got in this one, Joe, the Saints on the road laying 3.
Yeah, I was on the bad end of that Viking win last week. That cost me a big parlay and steaks in the freezer. Really, I'm still didn't get over it yet. But there's no way that the Vikings should have won that game. There's no way you let a guy who just walked into your locker room not knowing anybody come there and bring the ball down 80 yards to win the game on you. That guy Arthur Smith, he's got to go. This spot, I like the Saints here. I think they're going to be able to run the ball and control the game, and that means the quarterback's going to have to go and try to do what he did again. He ain't going to be able to do that against the Saints. I think this is a bad spot for the Vikings. Give me the Saints in this spot. I like this. This is one of my best bets in the NFL this week is the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah, everybody listen to Joey. It's a good Kurt saying take the Saints, not a Josh Dobbs believer. And you know what? If Justin Jefferson was there, Joe, maybe I'd be in the Vikings a little bit. But I think Josh Dobbs, great story, maybe most improved player in the league. But you got a dome team coming to a dome team. Saints need a big win on the road to continue with the Buccaneers struggling, Falcons struggling to beat a top team in that AFC South. And it starts here, I think, with a big statement win. Derek Carr has a nice game. Olave, Kamara, I think they win by 7 points in this one. So everybody take notes of that. The Saints, and one of Joey's best bets, and it's high on my list too. Couple more, Joe. We got the surprising Houston Texans and Rookie of the Year front runner, in my opinion, CJ Stroud. Man, has he proved me wrong with the Ohio State quarterback jinx. I said, he's being the exception by far right now. And he's going up and facing Cincinnati Bengals and MVP candidate Joe Burrow. Bengals seem to be back on track. Texans, an excellent story, Joe. But the Bengals are laying a big 6.5 in this. I'm sorry, 6 in this one. Plain old 6.
Yeah, and the Bengals got their weapons are banged up. Chase has got a bad back. The other receiver, he's hurt now. I heard they're both questionable. You know what? They need for the Bengals to roll. They need all their places in order for them to when they got them all in order. They're unstoppable. They're a dangerous team. When they got a couple people missing and stuff, they become a different team, and the game will be close. Give me the Texans here. Keep it close. I'll take the 6 points with Houston in this. This opened at 7, and now it's down to 6. Sharp money's on the Houston Texans, but they took them plus the 7.
Kurt with a bold statement in this one, Joe. Bengals straight to the Super Bowl. So in the Bengals, but I'm with you. I'm starting to believe in CJ Stroud over. Don't think they're going to pull off the upset, but I think they're going to keep this to within like a field goal with a chance to win late. And I think the Bengals, they pull it off late with about a 3 or 4 point victory. I think that line is a little too high for a team that's playing well and, getting better each week. And, hats off to DeMeco Ryans over there, first year head coach, doing a great job. With an outside chance, hey, 49ers are playing Jacksonville this week. With an outside chance at the division, I think they're 2 games back, and they probably still got to play each other. I got to look at their schedules. Texans got an outside chance at this division still, so or a wild card the way they're playing. They're right in the wild card mix, so they're going to play hard. But I'll take the Texans getting the points. Bengals money line.
Texans went into Jacksonville early in the year and beat them up bad.
That's right. Yep, I forgot about that. Couple more, Joe. Couple teams heading in different directions. The Green Bay Packers struggling with their quarterback, Jordan Love, have not played well this year. They may be in lines for looking for a quarterback next year. And traveling to Pittsburgh Steelers, and head coach of the year candidate Mike Tomlin done an amazing job with the Steelers team with their quarterback not playing great, finding ways to win, Joe. Now they're home facing a struggling Packers team, laying 3 in this one, Joe.
Yeah, I think there's some 3.5s kicking up around. The Steelers in every game, they've been outgained by 200, 300 yards, and they got a winning record. It's crazy how it is. They're doing it with smoke and mirrors. But you know what? I like them when they're a dog. I like them when they're a dog. But the thing is with Green Bay, that coach, he's a bad coach, LaFleur. Every game this year, the Packers are losing in the first half. They scored 9 points in the first half all season. So I really don't know where to go here with this. You're telling me on a neutral field they're an even team. You know what? I know there'll be some Packer fans in the stands there, but with the 3, I'll lay 3 with Pittsburgh at this because I don't trust LaFleur. I trust Tomlin. Give me Tomlin.
Yeah, Kurt's saying over for Jordan Love. He's taking the Steelers. Doggy Dog saying the Steelers defense is like the Jets. They will always keep them in the game. Love that comment, Doggy Dog. And I was just going to say TJ Watt is going to be the difference in this one, Joe. He's going to cause a fumble. Jordan Love, blindside, sack, fumble, turnover. Steelers win the turnover battle and win this game by at least a touchdown, in my opinion. I'm on the Steelers in this game.
And hey, listen, here's another thing, because I could talk now. It was only me and you there. Here's another thing. Here's the team. The Steelers haven't been playing good. Let them win this game. You know what? And then you see maybe they start getting overvalued. Then you come in. That's where you do a sneak attack on them. Okay, so
Well said,
keep
Joe.
all you gamblers
Great advice.
out there.
Great advice. We got one more before the evening games. Carson's Detroit Lions. Nice bounce back last week. Now they're traveling to the LA Chargers off their big win versus the Jets, Joe. I got the Lions laying 3 in this one on the road.
Yeah, Carson, usually when you say, Clams ain't around, he's sick, or either it's like we probably got pinched. Carson might have got pinched running that crap game over there last night. He might have been pokey. That's why he can't make the show. But listen, I like the Lions when it was when they were only favorite 1 or they were getting 1 or it was like that. Now they're up to 3 on the road. I even seen there's 3.5s out there. That's different. Now it's, you know what? I mean, I like them better money line when they were like laying 1. I would have laid the 118 or something like that, 120. But now the 3, besides one of the games that the Chargers got blown out, all the other losses all add up to only 9 points. So they lost by, altogether. So, you know what? I'll take the Chargers with the points here at home.
Kurt's going to take the Lions. He's not a believer in the Chargers. I'm going to take the Lions, Joe, because the tale of 2 coaches here. I'm going to go with Dan Campbell Brandon Staley's going to get back to his old ways, going for it, and on 4th and 2 from 5 and not getting it. And he's going to cause his team some points, cost his team a field goal, maybe 6 points in this game, and that's going to be the difference. So I'm going to take the Lions, who need this game, in my opinion, if they want to call themselves contenders in the NFC. So big game for the Lions, in my opinion. Get this victory on the road and be a major contender in the NFC this year.
Just out there, just to let everybody know again, it's different. When you were always used to being a dog, and now you're starting to light the room up a little bit. When you go on the road now as a favorite, that's a totally different ball game. It's totally different. You're not the dog no more. Now you're the hunted now. You're not the hunter. You're the hunted. So just until you prove that, listen, I like the Lions. I think they're going to be in the playoffs and they're going to make some noise, but they haven't been in the playoffs yet. So before you start decorating a team where you think they could pound somebody on the road laying that, think about it. Just think about it. It's a little tip.
Good tip, Joe. 2 more real quick we got for him. We got Sunday night. Another primetime game for the Jets. They really did think Aaron Rodgers, put the Jets on prime time almost every week. Now it's Sunday night. Last week was Monday night. But now they're traveling to Las Vegas off of their big win over the other New York team, the Giants. I got the Raiders and Antonio Pierce. I got the Jets and Robert Saleh and Zach Wilson, Joe. A 1-point favorite on the road versus Vegas. Which way are you headed in this almost pick-em game?
I mean, I'm a peg. I like to play in the mud. So what do you think? I got to go the Jets. I mean, the line's telling you they're favorite there. And plus, half the place is going to be filled with Jet fans. They were already out there. There's a party. I heard 200 people. There's parties all over the place. They got lined up out in Vegas for that weekend. Listen, I don't know what's going on with this team. We know it's the quarterback. It's the offensive line is bad. The head coach is not a coach. You see him, he's looking up in the air when they make the plays they completed. That's what a fan does. He's not a coach. They asked him he took the 5th. You think you should be putting the backup in? He goes, I'll take the 5th on that. Like, he can't make a decision. It's bad. It's they're a bad organization. They always have been, but I'll take the Jets over the Raiders on Sunday night.
Kurt's going to take the Raiders. He's not a fan of Zach Wilson. I mean, I don't know who is a fan of Zach Wilson, Kurt. But I'm going to take the Jets here. I think this is a false line. I think the Raiders, by beating up on Giants, and we all know that situation over there, made this line what it is, and the Jets losing at home to the Chargers. I like this game as one of my better bets of the week. Defense is going to be, lights out in this game. Going to force the rookie O'Connell to make some mistakes. Antonio Pierce, great story. Happy he got a win. But I think reality is going to come back to the Raiders this week, and the Jets get back in the winning column. And one more, Joe, and it's Monday night, and it's a good one. Kurt's Broncos off of 2 straight wins, traveling to the struggling Buffalo Bills, Joe. Buffalo's struggling, and we got Buffalo, surprising in my opinion, a 7.5-point favorite, Joe. It's Monday night, prime time. Give us your bet.
There's, 2 teams going in a little bit of a different direction. Broncos are playing a little better, and the Bills haven't been playing good at all. The Bills ain't healthy. Their defense with those key guys going out has really, really hurt them, and they haven't recovered from it. And they're still not able to run the ball, and that's going to hurt you when your quarterback's got to carry the load like that. It's a sign for disaster. You know what? Give me the Broncos on the road plus 7.5. They're starting to play a little good. They're getting confidence. Give me a team that's a little bit on the up. I'll take the Broncos.
A few weeks ago, I said this Bills team is not 14-point favorite over anybody. They were 14-point favorite over the Giants. The Giants almost beat them. couple weeks ago, I said, Bills are not 10-point favorite over anybody. How could they be 10-point favorite over the Buccaneers? Buccaneers almost won that game, covered the spread. How, after this momentum, one team going in one direction, one team going in the other direction, how is this team a 7.5-point favorite over anybody? My best bet of the week, take the 7.5 all day. Go to FanDuel and wait for that game to be over because you're going to collect. I'm all over the Broncos Monday night. This Bills team, they're not 7.5-point favorites better than anybody. I'm even going to sprinkle pizza money line with the Broncos on Monday night.
There you go. There you go. Send it in.
Send it in, Jerome. Send it in. All right, Joe. That's going to conclude our slate for the week. Why don't we get into some best bets?
All right, I got college. I got one right now, but tune in on Saturday. We got hammered a couple of weeks with the college, but we've been hitting it really good with the pros on Saturday. The clams and claw show, the claw and clams. So I got some, but right now I got something for you. I got Texas State on the money line. They're good on both sides of the ball. I like them a lot, and San Jose State, another team on the money line against Fresno State. San Jose State is a sneaky good football team. Why is Fresno State? How come they're not favored by 3 in this game? It's fishy. And give me a dog right now. San Diego State plus 3.5 going to Colorado State, winning the game outright on the road. And in the pros, I like the 49ers. I like the Saints, and I like the Seahawks right now. For now, and tune in to the show on Saturday, Clams and Claws, and we'll get the latest injury reports and help you out because I want to see you beat the book. I want to see you beat whoever's behind the counter. Let's go, pay the player.
Pay to play. Mine, Joe, is I'm going to take a shot. My couple frauds. My one that I'm going to throw dollars on. I'm going to take Utah with a chance to beat Washington on the money line, 8.5. And then my lower one that I'm really high on is UCF over Oklahoma State. Those are my 2 college frauds. My best bet is going to be Alabama big over Kentucky. And in the pros, I got the same team as my best bet in my underdog fraud slayers. Kurt's Broncos, Jody's Broncos, the Denver Bronco Roundup guys get another win. And Broncos frauds of the week. They beat Buffalo Monday night, 7.5. You heard it first. One more best bet for you. I love the Jets.
Oh, man.
Final thoughts, Joe.
Final thoughts is, listen, I hope Sis, he's going to get better. He's already, he's back home. He's getting this, he's got the slippers on. He's got the cigar. He's got the bourbon ready to go. And give him a little eggplant, something light. Give him something light to eat. And you know what? And happy Veterans Day to the veterans tomorrow. And, it's Veterans Day every day for all those people, men and women, and the kids out there fighting for us, holding the flag down,
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for all your service. Well said, Joe. Keith saying, I missed the best podcast. Well, best podcast Tuesday nights, Denver Bronco Roundup. Joey Clams is still waiting to come on, Keith. He's waiting for you.
Hey, I get an invitation. Ash Wednesday is going to come first.
Yep, Doggy Dog World, thank you for joining us tonight. Kurt, again, thanks for the graphics. Jody, everybody else, Mark, love the comments. Hopefully we can give you some winners this week. Like Joey says, pay to play.
I got a 10-star release, college football release. Getting it tomorrow. You're going to get it Saturday, 11 o'clock on the Clams and Claws show. A 10-star.
Clams and Claws, Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Ciao. Have a good night, everybody.
Big injury coming up. Hello.
Have a good night, everyone.